Hello, Logan. Hello,
Hey,
family.
Greg. How
Hello,
are you?
friends. Hello, Illini fans. How are we doing tonight?
Our names are a little switched. Do you notice
My
that?
switched. Oh, they are switched. I had it right the first time.
Yeah, it's right
There
the
we
first
go.
time.
That is Logan. I'm Craig. This is a No One Asked Us Illini basketball postgame show. Illini win 76-50 in Nebraska over the Cornhuskers. Thank you for joining us. If you're watching us on YouTube, wherever you're watching us, give us a like and subscribe. That would go a long way in growing our channel that continues to grow each and every week. So thank you very much for tuning in. Also, share the stream if you haven't already. Retweet it, get it out there. More people in here, the better. We will read some of your comments coming up in a little bit. Logan might be a little preoccupied. The Globes aren't quite over. It's the Globes, right?
It's the Golden Globes. Yes. This
Golden
is
Globes
great, though,
not quite over yet.
because you might actually get to see me erupt live when Elvis wins Best Picture.
Austin Butler already won, right?
Austin Butler was great. Far and away the best part of that movie. But if it wins Best Picture drama here in about 3 minutes, I might just walk out of the room. We'll just see how this goes.
We shall see. This is fun. This is not a Globes post-game show, but this is an
there a
Illini
basketball
post-game
game on
show.
tonight?
There was. I don't know
Oh.
how much Logan watched of it, but I watched start to finish. So
this is really a precursor for Selection Sunday. Selection Sunday, for those that aren't aware, is also the same day as the Oscars. And that is my Super Bowl. I have no idea how that day is going to go for me personally, professionally, anything else. But I'm here.
okay.
Let's do it. Let's go.
Let's talk some basketball here. Illini win 76-50, 11-point halftime lead. I think it might have got down to 6 or 8 maybe in the second half, but Illinois pretty much controlled. Did it get to 5?
Yeah. I think it was 5 at one point.
Illinois pretty much controlled for the most part. I told Christy as the opening game graphics came up on the screen with the logos and the records, I said, I'm not liking tonight. I don't have a good vibe tonight. Illinois has not played well at Nebraska the last couple of years. It's been a couple close games. And I wasn't sure how they would respond, if they would keep the momentum from Saturday or if they would revert back to the way they were playing. Luckily, it was the latter. They looked really good, which is a big step, but you got to continue to move forward. So I know you said you were kind of focused on the Globes, but how did you feel going into tonight?
The same way I'm going to go into about every game the rest of the season. I feel like they're all going to be nearly going to be must wins. I'm feeling better. I was feeling better after the Wisconsin game, naturally, as we talked about. I wasn't super nervous about this game, just because I feel like this team, as we saw on Saturday, is starting to gel a little more. And I understand what you're saying, and I understand your fears and everything you had going into it. But I was probably a little more confident than you were. And I'm glad that they didn't let me down. This was absolutely the game they needed. Wisconsin was a good step, and that this was not that Nebraska is the highest level of competition, but to win a road Big Ten game and to have certain guys kind of come out a little bit here, gain some confidence. This one was huge. So going into it, yeah, probably not as nervous as you, but I can understand where you were coming from.
Let's run through some stats here. Terrence Shannon Jr., maybe his best game of the season. 25 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 steals. Played 35 minutes, had a plus 25 in the plus minus. 4 others in double figures. So 5 double-figure scorers tonight for the Illini. Coleman Hawkins had 12, Jaden Epps 11, and then Matthew Meyer and R.J. Melendez pour in 10. Dane Danger had 7 rebounds. Meyer had 4. Coleman had 3. Ty Rogers had 7 rebounds. Good game from Ty. He scored 4 points and 7 rebounds. Anything else stick out statistically? 7 more blocks for Illinois. They said on the broadcast that Illinois is top 10 in blocks in the country. They continue that. Dane Danger with 3 on his own. Individually, stat wise, nothing else really eye popping other than Terrence Shannon's double 25 and 11. As far as team stats go, um, Illinois held Nebraska to 37% shooting. They couldn't hit anything.
Yeah.
Luckily, they couldn't hit anything in the first half, or else they would have probably had the first half lead. 37%, 29 from three. Illinois shot 28 from three. They were 8 of 29. So still not a great 3-point shooting night, but 46% from the field. That says a lot about how good they are inside the arc when you're that bad outside the arc. 17 turnovers from Nebraska. Illinois out-rebounded Nebraska 41-33. Honestly, wasn't even close. Illinois led for 36 40 minutes of this game. It was tied for 2 minutes and 15 seconds, and Nebraska led for less than 2 minutes. So pretty much dominating fashion, if you want to call it that.
Yeah, as I said, it was the game Illinois needed to have. Nebraska isn't very good and wasn't very good tonight. Illinois did everything to shut them down. That cough still sounds great. You're doing really well, I can tell.
I'm trying to move away from the mic.
It's appreciated, I'm sure. No, yeah, Nebraska just it wasn't their night. Illinois did everything they could to shut them down. Getting to the free throw line, I think, was big for Illinois. Made 12 free throws, hit some threes. It's nice to see that they're able to put some of that together. We'll talk about some of the individual performances, but it was just a nice performance. It was a nice game, nice road win. After the way the Big Ten season started and the last month is gone, to have these games back to back it's a really nice confidence boost.
Yeah, and we'll start with that. But if you are here, get in the chat. We will read some of these. We have a couple break things or a couple notes to check the chat occasionally that we'll get some of your comments here and read some of them. But yeah, let's talk about some of the individual stuff. Terrence Shannon, 25 and 11, 4 assists, 35 minutes. Looked like the all Big Ten player that he is for the second game in a row. He had some lulls there where he just was really struggling as the team was struggling. But he's back to looking like a first team all Big Ten player. He's got to get to the rim. I know early on he was hitting those threes. He hit 8 threes in one game early, tied the program record for single game. That's not his game. He's got to get to the paint. He's so much better, and this offense is so much better when he gets to the paint, into the lane, and then he can make a decision to shoot, which he probably will. He doesn't really pass out much when he gets to the lane, or kick it out for an open three. So
our teams, I mean, obviously they know what he is at this point. I mean, it's not like he's a difficult one to figure out. So are teams just able to stop him? I mean, are they just keeping him from getting to the from cutting to the basket, getting to the basket, or is he just not even attempting to? Do you think he thinks his game is something else?
I think he got away from it. I think I don't want to say he thinks he's a 3-point shooter now, but I think he knows that at the next level he's going to have to prove that he can make threes. So he's taking a couple more threes than he should. He was 2 for 7 from 3 tonight, 10 of 17 from the field. So he was 8 of 10 from inside the arc and 2 of 7 from outside the arc. So when he gets in the lane, good things happen. Teams are starting to take away his left hand. He's starting to go right more to get into the lane, but he's always going to come back to that left and shoot with that left. But impressive all Big Ten first team type stuff from Terrence Shannon Jr. tonight. And then RJ Melendez, 10 points, 4 of 9 from the field, 2 of 6 from 3 rebounds, and 3 air balls. But props to him for keep shooting. He's not scared.
That's what he needs to do. He just needs to keep shooting. This team doesn't have a lot of shooters.
No.
He's one of the few that I know that can do it. Yeah. So I don't know whatever sort of confidence thing he's been going through here the last month or so. But he needs to keep shooting. It'll start to fall. Shooters will shoot well. This is kind of the ebbs and flows of this thing, but I'm glad that he was able to finally put some points on the board. It's been a while since when was the last time he scored double figures?
Good question.
I mean, just the fact that he's, taking those shots, making some shots. Yes, I know, there were still some air balls that came out of it, but you just got to have him to keep shooting. He's got to have he needs to be a double figure scorer on a more consistent basis, even if it's just 10 or 11 points. So he just has to keep doing what he's doing. And I
December
thought he
2nd.
looked okay. It's been a while. I thought he looked good tonight. Yeah, the air balls, but I thought he looked good. I was pleased with what I saw at RJ.
Yeah, double figures in 3 straight games: Lindenwood, Syracuse, and Maryland, and then 9 against Texas, and no more than 5 any game up until tonight, where he had 10. I still don't think he's 100%. Something's there with his shot. It's just not quite what it used to be. But a good step forward. He was aggressive tonight. He was on the boards. He was much better, much improved. And then our third key here, I'm going to kind of combine a couple. Just the flow of the offense, the ball movement on the offensive end, and the energy.
Yeah.
I tweeted it. Ty Rodgers really impressed me tonight. 4.7 rebounds. That's what he needs to do. And there's minutes there now because Sky Clark's gone. There's minutes there to be had. And I think Ty Rodgers is starting to come into his freshman season. He's halfway through it, a full semester in. I thought he had one of his better games tonight, and that led to the team having another better game with his energy, his emotion. Just so impressed with his trajectory right now. And the team, honestly, for the last 2 games, they've looked just so much better. I didn't notice as many sets or well-executed set plays tonight.
Yeah.
There was a little bit more motion and free-flowing offense, but there were some. There were a couple times where Jaden Epps grabbed the ball and was calling plays out front. So not as much set plays as Saturday, but still improvement on the offensive end and the ball movement and the flow of the offense.
I think certain nights are just going to dictate different ways of how the offense will look.
Yeah.
I know that's like a cliche thing to say. It's pretty obvious, but I think that's true. I mean, this team can take on a few different identities. We heard it ad nauseum about the 5-out offense this team was going to be, leading coming into the season. And then we kind of had an emergence of Dane Danger, who I don't think we were expected to be quite as impactful early on. So things have kind of had to change a little bit. And I think that's going to be something you see fairly regularly from this team. I think there will be some nights where you see more of a 5-out motion type of thing. There's going to be other nights where there's going to be more sets. I want to see them, more out in the open, running the break more. I think they need to take advantage of those opportunities. We're seeing a little bit more of it now, I think. There's been a few more attempts at it. There was a nice alley-oop from Terrence Shannon to Coleman. Sincere tried to throw it down a dunk. I mean, I want to see more of that. I think that's where a lot of this team can score in those type of scenarios. So I would like to see more of that when it comes down to offensive sets and everything. But it's just going to be. I think you're going to see a lot of inconsistency at times. That's just what this team's built, how this team's built.
Yep. If you're in here, thanks for joining us. We're going to read some of your chat now. If you got anything to say,
thanks for coming.
Get us in the chat. I'm just going to go down the line here. Michael, looking like they should effort-wise. Agreed. It's back after a couple weeks of showing nothing. It's back. But yes, this is also the second half where it went from 11 to 5 in the span of 2 minutes. You can't let that happen. Can't let that happen. Brad called timeout and got it fixed, but it could come back to hurt them. We just touched on Ty. Someone pointed out Ty. This also Sincere trying to dunk on the world once again on a fast break. I don't know if you saw that. Or
did he get fouled?
Watching your gloves. I don't know.
See,
probably
I wasn't watching
they
with
blew
the sound.
So many whistles tonight.
I did not have the sound on, but I saw it in real time and I saw the replay, and it definitely looked like he got fouled. I don't know what they were saying on the broadcast. I don't know how much contact there actually was, but it didn't look to me like a clean block. But I don't know.
I don't know what else he could have done there. I
don't know.
Like this, it would have got blocked if he laid it up. So there was really nothing he could have done. at that point. What's up with Matthew Meyer? He still doesn't want to play with the flow of the team and defensive lapses. Yeah, I noticed that. I put it in my group chat with the guys. There are some times where if Terrence Shannon Jr. or Coleman Hawkins are going off and getting their shots and Meyer's not, if he gets the ball, he's not giving it up. He's gonna shoot it no matter what. He's got to get his. It ruins the flow sometimes, I know, but he does. He makes more than most on this team, so it's good. We're gonna have to live with it. Just gonna have to live with it. He's gonna do that. He's gonna shoot stupid step back threes, but it is what it is at this point. Until it costs Illinois a game, I don't think anything's going to change. That's just who he is.
Yeah, I think that's who he's been. That's who he was at Baylor. That's who he's going to be now. It's unfortunate, but yeah, you're right.
I also think he got away from Baylor to get more of that because he
Yeah.
wasn't the guy at Baylor, and so
Yeah.
Brad might have told him you can come here and do whatever the heck you want. Wouldn't go this far. I think
Yeah, I disagree
Meyer
with
is
that.
still a better, probably a much better player than Ty at this point. A
Hold
projected lineup
on.
here.
Go back.
Okay.
I will say this. I don't agree with that. I do think that Meyer is a better player than Ty at this point, but to this person's point, the effort we saw out of Ty tonight was more than what we saw out of Meyer.
Yeah.
Granted, Meyer got 2 early fouls and was out of the first half with like the 6-minute mark and only scored like 2 points. Matt Meyer is going to give you more offensively than Ty Rodgers is, just point blank. Like Matthew Meyer is one of the 2 best pure scorers on this team. He's just going to do a lot of stupid things that's going to piss you off.
Yeah. 10 points, 2 of 10 from the field, 2 of 8 from 3 for Matthew Meyer tonight. Not his best offensive performance. I think it's a Jasic. I don't know. I think that's how you say it. Epps, Rogers, Shannon, Danger, Hawkins should be the lineup. Again, don't think so.
I'm not totally in on the Ty Rodgers love at this point. I mean, he was great tonight. That's the kind of effort we need from him. But
he's earning his minutes.
Yeah, he's
earning more minutes. He's earning his minutes. He'll get there.
There was a point a few weeks ago where he had fallen all the way back to the back of the rotation, and I wasn't sure where he was going to see his minutes, but he's earning his minutes again. So I definitely give him that for sure.
Yep, 5 in double figures, good to see. Yeah, we touched on that. And anytime you have 5 guys scoring in double figures, that's a good offensive night. And Saturday they had 4 in double figures, so the offense is coming around. Coming around. A couple more. Harris played a good game, but can someone teach him how to shoot? Couple never even drew iron. Yep, that's a knock. He's not out there to score. Sincere Harris is not out there to score. He's out there to guard and not make mistakes. How did he do in that department tonight? 3 steals, 2 turnovers, 2 rebounds, no points. 16 in the plus minus in 20 minutes. That's about what you're going to get. I think this is about Ty Rodgers again. His effort was contagious. I agree with that, but I still don't think it's we'll leave it there for now. All right. Back to our rundown here. Just real quickly, do you have an everyday guy or anything?
I mean, we already talked about RJ, but I think I'm glad that we're seeing some production out of him. I mean, he's a player that I was really hoping going into the season would take a big leap, big step forward. The Big Ten kind of saw a couple sophomores really take big steps last year, and I was secretly hoping that maybe RJ Melendez could do something, maybe not as much as what we saw last year with a couple players, but something towards that direction. And we hadn't really seen it yet. So just the fact that he was able to, get in double figures and make some things happen tonight. He's looking a little better defensively. So I'm glad that he's getting a little more confident and getting some of his production back, because he's going to be somebody this team's going to count on down the stretch. They're going to need his points. So I would definitely say RJ.
I'll go with Ty. Ty Rodgers.
That's the other.
He gave the effort. He gave the hustle. He never gives up on a play. I know we got a guy here in the chat wanting to see him start. I don't think that's his role right now. I think you keep him on the bench, play 15 to 20 minutes a game, and do exactly what he did tonight. 4 points, 7 rebounds. 0 turnovers. He had a monster putback dunk late in the game that was his head was at the rim. It was incredible. So I'll go with Ty Rodgers for my everyday guy tonight. We don't really need to go over good and bad. It was a lot of good and not much bad tonight. So we'll get back in the chat. We do have a question here. When is Goody coming back? Brad apparently told the media in Champaign yesterday, I believe, that he has a doctor's appointment some point this week and could possibly be back on the practice court by the end of the week. So if that's the case, maybe I saw someone say maybe the Indiana game. By the end of January, I think we'll see Luke Goody. I don't think he'll be starting. I don't think he'll play 30 minutes a game. It's going to be a slow progression him back into the rotation.
Excited to see him though. Could definitely use some of that production, especially as a shooter. But yeah, he also said on the radio on Friday, I believe, on Tay and Piper's show that he also mentioned he has that appointment with the doctors this week. Yeah. Same thing that Brad said in his media availability too. So yeah, hopefully have him back here soon.
He was not in uniform tonight. I saw him on the bench. I think he was wearing the same top, the warm-up top as the team, so it might have looked like he was in uniform. But he was still in street clothes on the bench tonight. And then MSU beat Wisconsin. Yeah, Michigan State's coming in 7 wins in a row. So I think that's a good spot for Illinois. Last call for chat here. We're going to shut this down in a little bit. If you got anything else you want us to cover or anything else you want to bring up, get in the chat, and we will get to it. Try and get to it before we end the show. But last call for chat here before we close up shop. Next up is Michigan State Friday night, same time, 8:00 Central, 9:00 Eastern. Back in Champaign. What network? Is it Big Ten? No, it's FS1. FS1.
Yeah.
For that.
Or is it ESPN? It might be.
No, it's FS1.
Okay.
It's FS1. I just wrote it down like yesterday, I think. Yeah. 9:00 Eastern, FS1. Sparty's 12-4, 4-1 in the conference. I believe they've won 7 in a row. I think I just saw they've won 7 in a row. They're coming in pretty hot, but Illinois has played Michigan State well at the State Farm Center. So should be a good one. ESPN gives Illinois a 75% chance to win, which seems very high.
It seems a little high.
Michigan State looked good early. They looked good early in the season, then they fell to 5-4 and have since won 7 in a row. So, thoughts on Friday night?
I'm excited. That's going to be a nice matchup, a real nice test for this current Illini team that we're seeing now the past week. They keep playing like that, they're going to beat most teams in the conference. But if they start to develop some bad habits again, they could easily lose to just about anybody. So it'll be a nice test. Yeah, Michigan State's a good team. But although the Big Ten, as we talked about the other day or last night or whatever, they're just going to beat up on each other. That's all they're going to do. Yeah. That's all they usually do. And that's especially all they're going to do this year. So all bets are off when it comes to this game in particular on Friday. But yeah, I'm not sure I agree with the 75%. But yeah, it should be a good game regardless. So if Illinois shows up, they shouldn't have a problem, I don't think, with Michigan State. But who knows? We've seen the good and the bad already in the last month, so wouldn't be shocked either way.
This is before tonight's game updated. Illinois 70, Michigan State 67, according to Ken Palm. 63% chance of victory for Illinois. That's before factoring in tonight's Illinois Nebraska game, which they has a 2-point game, and it was a 26-point game. So, all right, how are the Globes going?
They're over. They're done. I didn't have to erupt. The Fablemans won Best Drama and not Elvis, so I'm very happy about that.
Elvis was your prediction, though, right?
You thought it would win. Yes, but that was I didn't want it to. No, Fablemans
Okay.
is the far better movie. I was surprised though that Everything Everywhere All at Once did not win Best Musical or Comedy. It went to Banshees of Inisherin, which is a great movie. Watch it this weekend. But I
Take a
was
guess at how many.
expecting
I know we're not talking basketball anymore here, but take a guess of how many movies I saw that were on your predictions.
none,
2. I saw
0.
2.
Oh, there were on the predictions that I made that I posted.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't even know what they would have been. I'd have to look at it. You watched Elvis. You did watch Elvis,
I watched Elvis.
and
There was one more on there that I am pretty sure I saw at some point. Oh, yeah, Top Gun Maverick.
oh yeah.
That was one of your
It didn't win
predictions.
anything. It didn't win a single award tonight, which kind of surprised me.
Hmm.
But yeah, so it's fun. No, they're over.
All right.
They're done. We can move on.
All right. Move on to eyes closed bedtime because it's past 11:30 in the East.
Yes.
These 9:30 these 9 o'clock tip offs are killer. I wish they would go away, or I would move to the West Coast. So, anything else from you?
No, I'm good.
All right.
I'm good.
Thanks for joining. If you're still here, like and subscribe. This one will not be a normal show because I'm going to upload this just raw because I'm going to bed because I'm getting on the road early. But thank you for joining us. We will be back Friday night for another post-game show, Illinois, Michigan State. For Logan, I'm Craig.